Okay, sorry about that. I really need to start throwing on the other screen, but okay, welcome sorry back. About that. I really need to start throwing on the other screen, but okay. Cool. All right, so hello everyone, and welcome back to the stream. Yeah, I know I missed last week. Got busy with something, starting a company with my brother and a friend, so it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be making some fun things. For those of you who are just now joining, basically we're doing a solo run of Fire and Leaf Green with all the starters. We already did Charizard, we already did Venusaur, and now we're doing Blastoise. This is episode 3, I believe. We already got 3 badges because we got Surge, pretty sure. That says about to do Surge. I don't think I was, but we'll see. Because because I'm pretty sure we got Surge, Brock's Misty Surges. And I think we were about to hit on Cerulean Cave, or we was about to take on the route to Cerulean Cave. What's that? It's been Let me check. Okay, yeah, we have the Surge's badge. I believe we are ready to head on our, right here. Alright, cool. Did I fight this guy down here? Yes. For some reason, I've just been taking that little shortcut. Ironically, in my, maybe not but, in my, so basically, I've been playing, Japanese Fire Red, and Teacher Flash. And this is actually as far as I've gotten so far. Well, actually, I was working on getting to the cave. I was considering using Perish, but he only learns Absorb, doesn't learn any other move, and doesn't, I think he eventually gets, Leech Life? Oh, it sucks. Anyways, okay, so what's the goal of these solo starters? The reason why is because my goal is I want to see which starter is best. So one way to do that is to basically solo run. So the goal is to see how many different Pokemon they can take on. Obviously, there is the whole level thing, so if I really wanted to, I should have probably traded in 5 EXP shares or something like that. But maybe 95. I think eventually they set it up to where the EXP share it doesn't cut the amount of the original one. I think in later generations, before they just give it to everyone in Gen 6. Well, I want to say how it did it was, in later generations, your lead party gets all its experience, but the other ones only just got part of what the lead one, half, something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, so now, the goal is, I'm not going to be using, HMs, okay, no, correct, so, I said that wrong. I'm going to be able to use, I can use HMs and basically, I can use any TM you can get at the department store. Technically, if I absolutely wanted to, I could possibly get one at the Rocket Game Corner. But it will lower the score a little bit. Why do I say that? Because, well, first off, the other two I didn't have to. Charizard didn't really have, I don't think he needed anything from the Rocket Game Corner. And Venusaur couldn't get anything from the Rocket Game Corner. Now, what about one-time uses? I mean, the goal is to figure out which one, because the reason why is because if I have to rely on a move you can only use one of, and he wants to give it to something else, you know, which one would you give it to? Who knows? For example, let's say you're running. Well, side note, I think it's interesting how he can learn Rapid Spin because it would get rid of things like Leech Seed, which is what Bulbasaur could do. But so, anyways, so back to the thing. Essentially, the point is that you don't know what someone would use. For example, Venusaur can learn Earthquake, but would you teach Venusaur Earthquake, or would you give someone else Earthquake? Generally speaking, you'd probably give someone else Earthquake. Or save it to use for, like, post-game stuff, you know? Which is, again, usually you'd give it to someone who's not Venusaur. So that's why I am going to avoid doing things like that. Also, I have, like, basically 3 chats open. Trying to anyways. So, because I have yet to, okay, no, I did have, so right now I'm streaming in 3 places at once. We'll see how well this works. I have the stream manager, because it's running on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Mostly Facebook, because it's people who kind of know me personally. So, there's that. But, more like in real life people, like people I literally met. YouTube, for those who are wanting, it's at JC Kane. For Twitch, I believe it's JC_Kane. I tend to post once a week. I stream once a week for a minimum of an hour. Usually anywhere. It's either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Not each day. I'm gonna potentially either do a little bit of a longer stream today, or try to hit a second day this weekend, simply to make up for missing last week. But I'm excited for the first project our little business is going on. We're gonna be making Fortnite Battle Royale maps, so it's gonna be fun. Once we're still working on getting our first one set up. Got the main mechanic right now. We're mostly working on building like the map itself, like the land or whatever. That's what we're currently working on. But yeah, once that's done, I'll go ahead and probably stream it. You know. We do have our company. I'll probably link that at some point. Again, I'll probably at least wait till we have our first map up. But yeah, I'll do that. Things like that. So it's gonna be fun. But obviously, you've seen me like. I wanted to work on this project. I am going to be doing another thing that's more for my channel and not for that separate thing, because that's going to be on a separate channel mostly. Like I said, I might do a stream on it on my channels or whatever. The Fortnite map. Yeah. That being said, anyway, so that being said, I want to talk about the other thing. Long story short, another thing that's been. Oh, side note, one of the reasons why I wasn't able to stream is because my brother, the company is currently me, my brother, and we have a mutual friend. So, we're all going to be in the thing. Anyone who's, the people who've seen my Twitch, unfortunately, he was one of the guys, the mutual friend, he joined me when I did Among Us here on Twitch. Unknowingly enough, I didn't realize that it didn't save the video. This is back where I didn't realize that it didn't save the video, so I lost that video. I'm sad because I don't know. See, I don't know what happened to it. Because when I stream, I've been using XSplit, which saves a copy of it. Well, it had. I'm gonna kind of turn it off since I'm gonna be streaming also to YouTube, and I only have so much space anymore. But that's why it's weird, because I have no idea what happened to the video it should have saved separately. Anyways, either way, that guy is going to be also in the company. Oh yeah, so either way, so my brother had come over because currently he doesn't have a computer, so he's been using mine because he was working on like a little bit more like the layout and stuff of like the map, since I had already gotten like the main mechanic of it working. So I hadn't been able to fully get on it, and once I'm done streaming for today, I'm going to go ahead and get on it and apply the rest of the stuff that were, like the rest of the mechanic stuff on there, so, you know, we can figure out how to do the, because basically, when we're building like the map, like the buildings and things like that, I don't want to run out of memory after we have all the mechanics added to it, so I want to make sure I do that next. Then I'm going to start working on that. Anyways, so another thing I kind of got into was, I don't know if you guys heard of what's it called? It's an app called Knock Knock. N-A-U-K. Yeah, that's how you spell knock. Anyways, basically, it's a fun little app that you can, that lets you take like little toys and figurines, and basically like use it to make like a little AI video and things like that. I've been messing around with it, having fun. I'm thinking about gonna start posting some of the things that I posted on there, and post it on here on my channel as like little shorts. I said, mostly just fun little things. I'm fully aware that the limitations about what all things, and some of them are kind of silly. Like, for example, like, so I had this one video, because like okay, so I had a Metal Sonic toy, and right now I'm going to be mostly focused on like classic Sonic stuff. So I have a classic Metal Sonic, and so I have classic Metal Sonic, and so my goal was, I was trying to oh yeah, so I made this little, one of the things I've been using, one of the features, which I'm probably going to be using a little bit more, so it's a little bit easier to have storytell it, is basically you could put in 2 separate frames, and then it'll animate the character to not only what you say, but also to what is. And this one, I had it to where I had classic Eggman. I'm just going to call him Eggman for now, because I don't want to keep calling it that, but so you had Eggman standing there, and I had a frame where Metal Sonic walks in, but for some reason, the way the angle was, Metal Sonic was, it mistook its nose for a finger on for his thumb. So it thought he didn't have a nose. So when he enters the scene, granted in a different direction than what I thought, so that one was a little weird, but like I said, AI jank. And so he enters, he doesn't have a nose, so like he gets to that point and whatever. I do wish that the program had the ability to stream, like I can connect, like you can connect them, whatever, but you can't connect them in one animation. So That's why, like, for example, I had this other one where I had Sonic facing that chameleon robot. I have like a little chameleon robot toy. He's from like he's a badnik you see in the first what do you call it? Green Hill Zone. He like well, anyways. So I had him fight that, and I did like little in different sections. The reason why it kind of sucks was because I did that so that like anyways. So it kind of the reason why it kind of sucks is because oh yeah, because two of the fight scenes have been separately. One, I changed the way the background looks. Because there's I took the pictures on my desk, and it was right next to a computer tower that I have sitting on it. Not the one I currently use, my old one. That I just have sitting there for now. And since it was on there, the first like one of the clips, it actually has it set on a desk. The other clip decided that no, it's actually going to be on a sink, which is fine because what like. I'll get into that a little second, because yeah, it has to try to decipher what the background is actually showing you. The only time this works. Like, why are you hitting a fairy type? No, he's not a fairy type for this generation. But, like I said, it has to decipher what it is. So, like, it's not, like, that would be cool if you could do, like, a panoramic shot of it, so that it could. And as a side note, like, I don't understand, like, it specifically wants you to use a figure or a model or whatever, but I think what bothers me is a little bit is, shouldn't that help with real life, like, keeping it on model? It's super weird, like, anytime, like, but instead of, like, like, I don't know how the AI generates the models and stuff. I'm genuinely curious. Now, if you're wondering, oh, well, he's, I'm not gonna learn that. Oh, he's going off the deep end, blah, 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 AI is evil. First off, I agree. Okay, when it comes to AI, I believe that with AI, there can be some benefits of it, but there can be some detriments to it, you know? Because, like, yeah. And I'm not saying, oh, we should replace things, blah, blah, blah. But, like, right now, I'm just gonna have fun making small little video things that would take hours, potentially, to animate when I just want to make just a fun little short, you know? Just for amusement. And post it on here just to post on there, you know? Just share them. So, like, generally, I understand things like that. And obviously, yeah, I understand, like, oh, you're taking people's artwork, blah, blah, blah. I understand that, which is, you know, things like that. And I understand it could be taking someone's job, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I won't lie, if I didn't have this program, I just wouldn't do these little shorts. Granted, I'm considering paying the thing for it, and yeah, like I said, it's wonky, but I'm just having fun. But yes, now this is me saying, oh, more for all AIs, blah blah blah, you know. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying when I say stuff like that. I feel like AI could be used as a fun, cool, powerful tool, but it can also be used wrong. So with that, so yeah, so with my little caveat, anyways, so back to the thing. So because of the way it can't do backgrounds, one thing I'm going to be doing is I basically got like little play sets you can get for like Sonic and stuff. I already got, right now I got a Green Hill Zone playset that you can get from like the Jack specific stuff. Obviously it doesn't include a background. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put like, well actually I'm probably gonna put like just a sky, because okay, not only do I have like the little loop-de-loo type ramp things from Jack specific, but another one I think is fun I have is so there's these things, they're like little building blocks, but they're magnetic building blocks, which look pretty cool. And yeah, it's knockoff Green Hill Zone, you know. It was kind of obvious, but like it still looks like it. So just for fun, like I said, they're literally building blocks, but they're magnetic, so it's actually pretty cool. I might show what they look like on here, but definitely when I do it. So essentially, I'm going to use that to build like a little, what do you call it? Yeah, I'll use that for like the base. It might have a little bit of a Minecrafty look because they're blocks, but I think it's going to be fun. And then like, then I'm going to probably have like an actual picture of the sky, or even take it outside. You know, so yeah, I think it could be fun. Again, make fun little things, like I said. I've already made a couple of them, just messing around, you know. I might eventually post some of those. I'm kind of waiting till I get this new set of stuff, because so I can like get a lot. I'd say professional quality, but didn't say I. What are we talking about here? Yeah. So yeah, I have like so after that, yeah, I basically as long as I keep it Green Hill, I pretty much have some stuff. Oh, and there's another thing, a little videos I'd like to eventually do, that I'm probably gonna do here soon. Basically do a little board games, but like use AI to animate some stuff. Yeah. But obviously I'm still gonna be doing, you know, weekly episodes for Pokemon challenges, things like that. So that's not gonna change. And that's also, like, I'm still going to be doing, like, my Pokemon thing. Well, I should say, typically, I'm probably mostly going to be Pokemon challenges. That doesn't mean I won't, like, try to do other games and things like that, but at least more of my challenge runs are probably going to be Pokemon related. I'm not that good enough with, non-RPG type games to try and do, like, a Mario challenge run or something like that, you know? Oh, that's another thing I do need to get back to doing. Which, I don't know when. I already have these things, because, yeah, I'm already going to be doing, I will still know, I don't know which one I'm going to be doing next, specifically. So what do I need to do next? I think I can buy some. Yeah, I need to head to Celadon. Buy what kind of potions we got. Don't need the lives. Yeah. What's a Celadon? Like, I'm pretty sure they nerfed hyper potions. You know, because I think originally they did 200. But then later they decide, no, that's too good. We're gonna drop it down to 120. Which is crazy. I will note, if I do eventually have to drop down to only streaming on one, it will be YouTube. Why? Well, I know I'm streaming on Twitch, but I don't like Twitch. More specifically, I don't like the fact that it doesn't save videos. Which I guess works, but it's just, it's one extra step And like, okay, one of the reasons why is because I don't have. No, don't get me wrong. I do want to start eventually being able to purchase some just like terabyte hard drives, like maybe once a year or something like that, and like just put that use videos on them or whatnot. But until I can finally get to that point, I'm gonna be able to save most of my. This is probably why I'm probably doing more streaming than I am just recording. And this keeps it so that I don't have that extra thing. And yes, I know I can delete the video afterwards, but I'm not gonna want to. Because I'll be paranoid that, oh no, it has like a little bit of a better quality on that. Something like that. Says the person who's using pixelated game. So, great. So Erica's going to be interesting. Yeah, Erica's going to be interesting because, I'm debating if I want to go straight for her. Now, I should note that obviously certain gyms, like for example, you're probably not going to be using Blastoise in the Erica gym. Meaning, if I do just skip her and come back, it's not that big of a deal because, as I know, you're probably not going to be using Blastoise for that gym anyways. Yes, I see all that. Oh, and for the record, yes, I'm allowed to do items in battle. This is just a general thing. Generally, people are going to be using items in battle. Yeah, so most people are probably going to be using items in battle. You might have the occasional one that just doesn't because they don't want to, but... We'll keep track of them. All right. This is not working. Obviously, you can't see me, but I lowered my desk so I could sit down for a minute. And yeah. These are about to hit one. Rules for double battles. But you could just like, don't do them, but I won't do it. Anyways, I just have to keep swapping out my... The teammate's not allowed to attack. I can't, so I just need to swap them out. Even though I should probably get another Pokemon that's not Paris, because the Paris has effects for. Well, I do feel like I'm kind of at the point where I'm, trying to think what the word I'm looking for. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. I think I was gonna say that, yeah, I might be at the point where, first off, there is that, you know, there's nothing I can do if you're gonna attack my Pokemon. But generally with these, I tend to get and finish it pretty quickly. Ain't not much to really write home about. Yeah, I had realized, had I used like an emulator with speed up function, it would have been done. How do I know this? Oh, because I did at least 2 other battles. Like, I did this, well, no, it wasn't this specifically. Yeah, what I did was, I think it took me like 2, maybe 3 hours. If that, what I was doing was I was yeah, I didn't think electric was just water. It's sometimes hard to remember, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so speed up because like I did 2 runs on Fire Red Leaf Green, but I was actually using a team and I was testing out the team. So yeah, had I done a solo run then, yeah, I would have. I could have finished all 3 probably in a day. This area right here, funny enough, is actually where I mostly did a lot of my training. Because that's just kind of what happens. Like, whenever you get new Pokemon, you have to sit there and train them up, you know? And collect them. It's so weird, you know? So one thing that's fun, okay, so you know what's kind of funny, is so many proof of concepts you see in the games and things that like, well not games, but in the anime, that they just like changed. For example, did you know originally Ash did not, or any trainer, actually did not have to have a direct phone call with Professor Oak in order to change their Pokemon. Yeah. In the first episode where it talked about it, according, at least unless it's, okay, it is possible that maybe the Japanese anime changed it, but in there he could change this Pokemon using his Pokedex. Those white buttons, apparently that's what they were for. Those white buttons on like the other side. That's what apparently there was for, to press those buttons in order to exchange it. So it makes me kind of wonder if he changed, if maybe the Japanese said it differently then. It wouldn't be the first time that, you know, it changed. I mean, after all, Brock loves his jelly donuts. That's still so crazy to me. Anywho, alright, going strong. I believe there's you, and you. Ooh, your bike is acting up, huh? Interesting. That is something I am curious about. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, why didn't... Because, like, okay. I wonder why they still had it where the trainer sprites shared overworld sprites. Because in the, like, in Gen 1 and Gen 2, yeah, the reason why they did it was because... Yeah, the reason why they did it was 2 reasons. One, to share just sheer hardware space. And 2, the overworld sprites were so limited. First off, yeah, even originally the gym leaders didn't have their own sprites. But because they weren't exactly good with the hardware and getting as much as they could out of it, that's why they did it that way. But yeah, Gen 4, I'm pretty sure it's Gen 4 that finally all the overworld sprites had their own battles. Well, all battle world sprites had their own battle sprite. Oh, all battle sprites had their own overworld sprites. There we go. But yeah, for some reason in Gen 3 they shared them. I don't get it. Oh, great. There we go. That would have been a pain if I just started missing. Then because I'm poisoned. Granted, I have items, so I could have just healed it, but still. I didn't fight the first biker guy, right? I did. Okay, cool. I saw him, yep. I thought I did. And I feel like each of them have like their proper sprite. Like this one is clearly the gambler. But then they all have like a second like alternate sprite. Even though I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, I think the old guy sprite tends to use a different one more often for its battler. But I could just be wrong. Yay. Alright, last guy. Then we get to decide, do I want to, I guess, it's something where like, we might, like, unfortunately, Ice Beam or Blizzard is not available in the one shop. You can get Blizzard for coins, even though that's not exactly gonna help as much as I'm hoping it would, but it is possible still, you know. In Gen 1, that wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have been super effective. It's just been regularly effective. It's interesting to think about. Of the 3 new types that were introduced, Darkness, Dark, Steel, and Fairy, Dark is the only one that an old Pokemon didn't become the new type. Because with Steel, Magnemite and Magneton became Steel. Electric Steel. For Fairy, yeah, Fairy and a bunch of other Pokemon that gained the Fairy typing. Dark was the only one that didn't. Yes, in case you, why'd you say Darkness? Because, the reason why is because for some reason in the TCG, It's actually supposed to be. It's actually called Darkness Energy. Yeah. At least back in the day, because like I said, they keep changing stuff. I mean, there was a fairy type at one point in the TCG. And then they decided, like, nah, it's not good enough. I wonder why they got rid of the fairy type anyways. Honestly, we might as well just go for it. Really no reason to take on Erica right away. We have tons of stuff we can do in the meantime. I would really love to get Surf, but I can't get Surf until I can get through the bike or, yeah. Need the Pokeflute to get Surf. I guess there's something to talk about, because like when all you're doing is just sweeping, you know, it's a boring chore. No, usually if I'm playing this, I'm doing that well. Usually I can enjoy some other aspect of it. I'm enjoying the story, or even sometimes I'm multitasking. I have multitasking before. I'm gonna clear this guy. That way, when we head back out, we need to heal. Oh wait, why didn't I use Bite? I'm done. Glad that missed. So, yeah. Basically, that's essentially what I'm going to be doing. I'm making little those little AI short things, just for fun. You know. Oh. Oh. Did I miss this guy the last time? Man, see, it's like these games look so much better when they're not so zoomed in. Which kind of sucks is I actually played it on like just streaming straight through my monitor instead of like through XSplit. It looks, yeah, it doesn't look as good. I'd even argue that it looks bad. just like the way it has the pixels. It's so zoomed in essentially that you can see basically every individual pixel, and it's crazy. So on a side note, I got the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. It's fun. Like some custom elements of it. I don't know. I thought like maybe it's just me, but I guess I kind of thought that the island, like the maximum size, is bigger than what I thought it was. Because I was actually, what I was thinking about doing for fun was I was actually going to like map out Kanto and use like the custom tiles or whatnot. So I'd literally like, yeah. So like for the land, I'd like literally pixelate, like make my own little tile set essentially. I think the biggest. Okay, here's something that I didn't actually end up doing with the others. But I'm doing it because the only reason why I didn't do it with the others is because they didn't have a dark type move. Yeah. Hey, health items are allowed. And I could have used them with those. I just didn't I never really did it because I just. It's funny because I'm so for example, one of the reasons why I don't tend to use like berries and things like that when I play through is usually because they're difficult to come by. So I typically only use things that like little boosts, things like that, like dark sunglasses. So yeah, if I would have found a shark beak, I would have used the shark beak. So back to the thing. Anyways, the reason why I'm probably not going to do it now is because, unfortunately, I don't. Well, first off, I know there's not enough grid spaces. I could make some version of Kanto. I haven't decided yet. Right now, I got it like a few days ago, so I'm still kind of working out the kinks, you know? So I'm still kind of acquiring items and stuff. That's probably the main reason why. For those who are watching the thing, like, because I know my playback is probably having buffering problems, but is it for anyone who's actually watching via that? Is it having like any big issues? So, moving on to other things. So back to the video things. Some of the things I'm thinking about doing is Anyways, see, essentially I have just about majority of the characters you want on yeah, because let's see, I have okay, so I already had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. Remember, this is the classic ones. I actually have a lot of the modern Sonic ones, but I got the right now my classic ones are the 2.5-inch ones, and my modern ones are the 4-inch ones. The reason why is because I found they're mostly I think it's because the obvious reason is because Classic Sonic is taller. Yeah, I was trying to do something, but I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do. Because Modern Sonic is taller than Classic Sonic. And I do feel like... Yeah, so I want to get that. Anyways. Yeah, so Modern Sonic is... There we go. I don't remember going that far out of the way just to get that. I don't know, why did I come here? But, anyways, okay, so I have Classic Sonic. So, just, they're all classic. So, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Fang, Robotnik, Metal Sonic. Of like your main ones that, well, I just say the main ones that there aren't technically more than one of. So there's only one Sonic. There's only one Metal Sonic, etc. Then, as for Badniks, I have a handful of them. I have a Caterpillar, I have that some squid thing from Oil Ocean Zone, which is what I got it because I actually got the little playset. That is actually, I think I got that one. I think that was one of the first ones I got when I started collecting these. What else? Chopper, I think it's called. The fish that jumps out of the water. And a buzz bomb. Currently, I say currently, I'll explain why that in a minute. Why. I have 5 out of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Long story short, I only recently started collecting these ones, and eventually I decided to add these new ones to my collection. But I did actually, I don't even know how big they are. But I had another set of the set of Sonic toys from Jakks Pacifics before the current ones. I always want to say they're more like 3-inch figures. Because I think they actually might even be 2.5, I don't know. But yeah, I had so many more of those. But unfortunately, some of the figures, some of the... Unfortunately, some of the like for example, my Amy Rose one, her leg is kind of weird looking because like it kind of like the little hinge where it is kind of like loosely on there, or like it's spread apart too much. If that makes sense. I left it in my storage shed. But basically, it's like, okay, so you know how like the way it works is you have it's like it's the ball and socket kind of. Well, no, it's not really a ball and socket. It's like whatever. Either way, that's attached. It's kind of loosely on there and whatnot, and yeah. So anyway, so I have that, and yeah. So either way, a lot of them are like that. In fact, my Metal Sonic is actually lost his. It doesn't have his hand. Yeah, like he's missing his hand. And then what's funny is because I think it was like that from when I got him. I think because when I was taking him out of the box, I think that, like his hand was loose, but then it just can't pop off. That was kind of sad. Outside of that, yeah, I had a lot of them. Like I had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow. I don't think I had Rouge. I don't think, because yeah, I think Rouge. Because I think the ones that I didn't have, like your core set of moderns, was I didn't have Rouge, Omega, Cream, Blaze. Even though it's annoying because I had this one comic dual pack because I wanted to get Blaze the Cat so much, and like, but no, I'm not. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to get Blaze, and I had this comic pack, but I think by the time I finally had the money to get it, I could never find it. That or, like, it skyrocketed in price. I think it was both. Because I think, well, by that I mean, I think originally I couldn't find it again. When I finally found it again, it had skyrocketed in price, so I could no longer afford it. And when I could finally afford that price, I could never find it again. For a second time. And now I got the 4-inch ones. Either way, so yeah, so I even had Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and Super Silver, which is actually where I got the 7 Chaos Emeralds, which is where this whole thing started. Unfortunately, I have no idea what happened to them. So, like I said, so I kind of had set them aside in a decent spot because I knew I was using them a lot. Mostly because I felt like they were the perfect shape for, I think they're, don't quote me on the size, but I think they're 6-inch figures. I refer to it as the Barbie scale because it's like the perfect. I think it's the perfect scale, size, to be the right scale for like a Barbie doll. So, anyways, so anyway, so I think I think the Chaos Emeralds were actually better fitted for them than it was those other ones. Nonetheless, I had all 7. And then I stored them someplace special, and then I lost them. Then I finally, I don't think there's, no, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I went to go find them. So, I have different, boxes in my storage shed. So I had different boxes in my storage shed, and what I wanted to do. Anyways, so the 2 places I was thinking they were. Number 1 is I had a box of figures that actually had majority of those 3-inch Sonic toys that I mentioned. I'll just refer to them as that since they might be 2.5-inch, but I'm pretty sure they're like 3-inch. Anyway, so I have that set, and we're facing Giovanni. I'm going to continue my talking because, admittedly, I'm not expecting a big deal from him. Because I'm using a water type. You know, he's got a lot of ground types, including an Onyx, which is going to get one shot. Anyway, so that's the box that I found the white Chaos Emerald in. Then I searched my box that had my 6-inch action figures, which I'll call them that since I get it. When it was developed as a Furos toy. But to me, they are just bigger action figures. Either way, so I have a box that has my customizable 6-inch action figures, which is what I'm going to call them. And like I said, since the Sonic, that's where I had my, wait, no, 12-inch action figures, I should say. Because the Sonic, I think, was a Sonic I had a Sonic Shadow and Tails. I was wanting to eventually get the Knuckles, but I never got around to it. Anyways, so the 12-inch action figures, those were the ones that I was wanting to get. Anyways, so I had a box with those, and so I looked in there, didn't find them, because that would have been the other place I would have put them, since I like to use them again with the 6-inch Sonic ones, because I think it actually was a little bit better to scale for those characters. So then I move on. So I was about to be like disappointed and leave, but then I believe God was showing me, hey, check here. So I checked there, and I'm like, oh, hey, that's cool. So anyways, I found them in a box. I never would have thought to look, but so okay. So in 2003, it's a random side thing, but in 2003 they have what's called, like, in Ninja Turtles, their vehicle was called the Battle Shell. I think, like, the other one they called, like, in the 90s series, they called it, yeah. In the 90s, I think they call, like, the 90s show, they called it the Party Wagon or something like that, but in the 2003 ones, they call it the Battle Shell. I bring that up because I actually had the actual, like, the vehicle, which is pretty cool. Anyways, so on the back of it, you basically had the option to, like, do that. So that's what I did. So I did that. Anyway, so I had that because, again, it was basically a size I felt like the other characters were set as. So I think what happened was, wait, hold on. I actually did not want to come in here. I was gonna go do my shopping in Saffron. Because strangely enough, oh, dang. Yeah, I'm probably gonna, okay, I'm gonna, there's something I did need to do that I just got reminded of. So, I'm probably gonna do my shopping in Saffron. Is it the first floor? Why did I go up before? Anyways, either way, the point is, there's in the turtle thing, I think that's where I had them stored, and since that's where I had that thing in my storage shed, I think that's why I found them in there, but I only found 4 of those in there. I still don't know where the purple one or the pink one is. I bring that up to say, I bring that up is because, right, before I go, I want to go get Fly. And I kind of gonna do that before I get my party back. I know I need Cut to get through, but yeah, I can just kind of. Oh no, I need to get Cut just to get in there. Dang, never mind. I think I have a visitor. Alright, I'm probably gonna go ahead and end now, because I think I have a visitor. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do one more this weekend. It's either gonna be probably gonna be tomorrow or Saturday. I don't know. We'll see y'all next time. Catch you later. Bye.